mediumship and tools mediums use to connect with spirit. So, do you use tools with your mediumship, Kimberly?
I don't do it with my day-to-day readings,
Right.
but I do like to use them for fun. I even have a crystal ball, different things. Some people use mirrors, but I like water readings.
Okay, what's a water reading? I don't know what that is.
You have never tried it then?
No.
So what you do is get a glass bowl and you put water in it, and then you have the person you're reading for put their hands in, and you could tell them, maybe you could tell them to just put their energy into the bowl, or they can think about things, put emotion. It could be just, tell them to send love and energy and whatever they want to send into that water. Okay. If they want a reading, like you could say, okay, well, think about your loved one, put that into, the water, or say they want to know something, put that in, like questions. So whatever it is you want, how you want to read, and then you just have them put their hands in for a few minutes. Then you take the bowl and you put your hands in. And as soon as you put your hands in the water, you can start to feel the energy because water holds memory. So you'll either feel their emotion, you'll start to get information, and you'll just get everything that was received from that person, whatever that was sent into the water, which is really neat. It's fun to try because you put your hand in and you're like, wow, and you can confirm it with them. So you're like, oh, I'm feeling this, or you're feeling this way, or oh, were you thinking about love or a loved one? And they're like, yes, or so you get the confirmation right back too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Fun. It's definitely a fun way to do, just mix it up a little.
Yeah, because I think we need to add fun into like the mediumship, whether it's use a pendulum or that water bowl one sounds awesome, with that. And then one of my friends does the pendulum to pick her tarot card. That's what she likes
Mhm.
to do. And I use pendulum with, Reiki, but that's about it. And then I went to a lady a long time ago that had like a chart and she used the pendulum to tell me whatever, with I don't remember what the only thing I remember is she was like, there's like a dark shadow around you. I'm like, okay, bye. And and that
Yeah.
was it.
Once they bring that up, forget it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, you had me until you said that. And then I'm like, but the chart thing looked cool.
Yeah. And pendulums are fun. They're a tool. I like to use them sometimes too with Reiki, because it breaks it up and I think they're fun. I always feel like they're a toy.
Yeah. And if you go to buy one too, you can actually like run your hand under the pendulums and see which one you're kind of drawn to because it'll move the one that maybe you need. And then when you go like this under them and they start swinging, be like, that's the one, that's mine.
Hmm.
Because you're without touching them.
Right. Just
Right.
underneath. Yeah.
Yep. And then what about there's also trance mediumship?
Yes.
Yes.
Trance is fun. Now, have you ever witnessed trance mediumship?
No. Only on TV and that I was just like
That lady, that show you watch.
that was
No,
so bad.
yeah, that's group trance. Like you can get everyone in a group to do that. But there is one-on-one. I know someone who does the readings
Which
one-on-one.
is crazy.
But I think just seeing someone's appearance, like we've learned it in class, and I don't feel comfortable. Do you feel comfortable ever trying it or?
I'm not really sure, but like I've seen where people's faces change, but like with people's voices started to change, that would probably freak me out a little bit, or like, start talking freaking weird. I might be like, you could stop that.
Right. I mean, I know when we had to learn it in class, I was very scared. I was nervous because I don't feel comfortable, because you have to step aside and allow that spirit into your body. And I don't feel comfortable doing that all the way.
Either.
But like I was taught then, I told my teacher, do we have to do this? Because I didn't want to. She let me do what they call blending. And blending is nice because you're allowing them, but only a little bit. So like I allowed them in my fingers, or you're just allowing just a portion, not the whole thing. And it was interesting because I mean my fingers did look longer and different. Like it was wild to see that. And I could feel this woman and I could feel a lot with her, but that's as far as I wanted to go,
Yeah.
our teacher, she did a reading and looked like my school teacher from when I was in elementary school. And
Wow.
totally looked, I mean, she started to just move things and all of a sudden her face like had a different shape. I mean, her nose looked different. You know what I mean? It was like I was amazed because that's something,
Mhm.
you don't really see.
Right.
So when someone's facial, like they're changing, like their look, their hair, like I mean, it was interesting.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I
But
don't, I don't
it's a
know.
little bit spooky, like
Yeah. You learn
people,
to you learn to set the boundaries and then you're like, come on in. Go
exactly.
ahead. No boundaries anymore.
I like boundaries. I think that's better.
Me
Uh,
too. I do too.
I just, but it was neat to see because you're experiencing something that you didn't know existed, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
it was an experience, and I have to say, I mean, it was like wild, but I don't feel for me personally, I want to do trance.
Right. Me neither. I'm
Um,
with you on that. It's not
yeah.
something I'm super drawn to or interested in
And
that
there's,
way.
right. And there's a lot of mediums who want to. I went
Mhm.
to classes with some were so excited that we were learning trance and they
Yeah.
were all in. And
Yeah.
wow, the
Yeah.
one she allows them in to the point where she does that inspired singing. Did you ever hear that?
No.
That was wild too. Like she started singing in a different voice and a different like language and yeah, and so they were excited. Like I was in class with people that really couldn't wait. They want to do trance and
So, did anybody know the language she was singing and
it
could
was
actually interpret it?
no one know it was different. I thought it sounded kind of Native American-y.
Uh-huh.
Feel like it could have even been like Egyptian. I don't know. It was different. I've never heard anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was an experience.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
yeah, definitely. That's
yeah,
definitely different.
yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely an experience.
yeah. But the physical part, like doing the trance and physical transformation at the same time, like to see them physically transform
Now, I
is,
like that.
yeah, like
I like that.
someone change from an older woman to a young girl.
Yes. Or
And
the change from race.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was going, are you sure I'm seeing this?
Right. It's
I,
awesome.
it was
That stuff's cool.
so,
Yes.
and then to hear a child's voice come out of her,
Yeah, that would be weird. That would
it was
be
wild.
weird.
What bothered me was because I didn't, it was a little freaky. Afterwards, she said, "Oh, was she here?" It's one of her guides that
Uh-huh.
allows in her body, and she had no memory of what this spirit said.
Yeah.
That bothered me too. Like I wouldn't feel comfortable knowing that I'm allowing them to do and say whatever they want.
Right. What if
And
she was trying to kill people with a knife? Be
she
like,
had,
oh, I don't remember.
yeah, she didn't know anything of what was said. So
Yeah,
that
that would
that is
be.
total trust, though. I feel like that is trust and surrender.
I don't have that in me.
Total trust, Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever do
I
that.
won't. I won't. No,
Yeah,
that's a little
but
much. That's
right. But it is impressive and it's interesting to see. I
yeah.
if you ever could see it, it's an amazing thing to see. You know,
Yeah, because I've heard stories where somebody has like a trumpet thing, like
oh, dancing trumpet.
yes,
Yes.
during trance, and I'm like, I think I don't know if I would like that. Like, I'm not big on like you. I'm not big on it like you. Like, I don't want the voice to change. I love seeing people's faces change where they kind of just come over them, right? They're not going in them.
Right.
But like to change the voice and to do all that and then like things start floating on their own, I would be like,
Um,
okay, I don't know if I'm okay
I
with that.
trumpet. I did witness the trumpet.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was more in a group setting. It was actually a class we were doing, and it was with table tipping, which is another form of tools. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
table tipping was from way back where they used it as a tool. So
Mm-hmm.
when you ask a question of spirit, the table will like,
Yes.
a couple times. Usually two or less, it's no. And if you want to, the yes is three or more.
Right.
Depending on how much the table tips, you can ask yes or no questions. So it's another tool.
Right.
And at that same class, that was for that. Spoon bending was another tool.
Oh yeah, that looks cool
Spoon
too.
bending was fun. And
Hmm.
and
Did you
then
actually bend the spoon or no?
no, you could because they had music and you're singing. Everybody's singing, and everybody at the same time is connecting with spirit and singing and letting spirit come in to help you with the spoon.
Did it bend though?
Oh yeah, and they were silver. They were real silver spoon. Like we were told what to bring. You had to bring real silver.
Oh,
Yeah, it was amazing. So that was an experience. And some
yeah.
people's only bent a little, some bent like
Oh,
totally like ridiculous.
wow.
So it just depends, I think, on the trust. I feel like a lot of it was trust and surrender. How much are you trusting that spirit's going to do this and help you?
Right.
And more people, I think, that had that trust and opened up more, their spoons were twisted and rolled and,
Mm-hmm.
weren't sure, kind of just had a little bit.
Yeah.
So, I feel like it has a lot to do with trust and surrender. But the trumpet it didn't go crazy flying around the room, but it did go up and kind of dance a little. So that was a little bit interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Did it play too? Because they say it plays on its own.
I did not hear that play.
Oh,
So
okay, gotcha.
I moved around and I was like,
Back
oh,
down. Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool though.
It was interesting. I mean, it's definitely neat to see that like there's so many tools or, what they call psychic tools or,
Right.
for development to help, you know. And also they're good to see. I feel like you're seeing physical demonstration with all of these physical tools.
Yeah. Oh,
You know,
yeah.
so sometimes it's nice to have that too, you
Right.
know. You
Yeah,
know,
because some people do like tea readings, and then like the spoon thing could kind of be like telekinesis a little bit, where you make objects move. I don't know if that's what it would be called with the spoon bending or not, but I know you can like be like put your hands out and then your energy moves the object closer or away from you.
right.
I'm not very good at that. Like I've tried and it's like wah wah. But the telepathy, I would love to learn. Like, I don't think I could ever do it, but it is fascinating. Like, to see people, like we were talking about people on TV or like random people on the street, and they're like, tell me a name of your first love, And there's no way this guy would know. And he says their first and last name, and then they freak out. And I'm like, how the hell is he doing that? Like, because that's going,
Because out of all of the thousands of names, he gets the
yeah.
exact name.
Right. How is that with the telepathy, like tuning into someone's energy in their mind? Really, you're really tuning into
Right.
their thoughts, but that's like next level though. But it would be interesting to see like because they never do it more than once, right? On one person. So it'd be interesting to see them find out like their whole life instead of just like a name. You know what
Mm,
I mean? Like, how many sisters or brothers do you have, or like this, or you know what I mean? Like, do
right.
more than the name. Like, to keep going. Like, how, like, tap in.
Right.
I want to see it like the whole time.
More. Yeah.
Yes. To see how do they do that?
A lot. Like I think you would have to really, I don't know if they have to go in a deeper like trance state to be able to do that because that's a lot of information you're trying to get.
Well, I know, but they make it look so easy
I
within like one
Yeah,
second. Okay, think of the name. Now close your eyes. Okay, it's Jonathan Waterloo Choo Choo Cha. And they're like, yes, how did you know? And they're like, what?
I know. I wonder, I would love to meet someone in person because I always think with TV it's always that
I
wow factor.
know.
So I would love to know it in person or see it in person because
Me too.
they do a lot for TV and you know that not everything is what we see.
Oh,
So
yes. And then, like, what kind of conversations did they have prior to that? Because a lot of people are talking about, they can be asking questions and reading body language without even getting the answer, like the exact answer. But like things are being said to lead up to who it is, or you know what I mean? Like, what is the conversation? Because it just shows that part, where they read their mind quickly, but it's in the span of like 20 seconds.
right.
And then they get the name and it's like, what?
And
How did
that's
you do
quick.
that?
I mean, that's a pretty quick to connect like that.
Yeah, and just a random person on the street. That's why I find it fascinating if it is real, right? Because we
Right.
can't believe everything on TV. And I feel like, why isn't there more of them? You know what I
Right.
mean? Why is there only like a couple people that I've seen like,
I think if you can do it, it's rare. I think that,
right,
that's definitely,
definitely.
you know,
But like I need to start practicing the telepathy, be like looking at people on the
yeah,
street,
practice and see. Try with something a little easier, like their favorite color,
right?
because
And then
sometimes
just,
the color in their aura.
right, that's, yes, I can do that.
So practice with the easier first and then move
Right.
to the harder.
Instead of go up to somebody, do you know somebody named George Jones? No? Oh well. It might be somebody else.
First name.
Right? It is like fascinating though, like what people can do or
Yeah.
but like you said, TV, it's hard when it's on TV because it's like, is it real? Is it not real? I don't
Mm,
know. And if it was real, why are more people not doing it? Like even just a little bit more than what we see, you know what I
right.
mean? Because even like as rare it is as it is for like mediums to do what we do, there's a lot actually. There's a lot of mediums out there. But with the telepathy, not really.
No, there's not a lot.
No, that's why I'm like, and what we do is not easy. So it's like, why, like, how does that look so easy for that guy? I don't know.
Thing if he is doing telepathy and reading their mind, or if it is more like he's connecting with maybe his spirit guide or someone up there, that we
Could
connect
be,
because they might know the answer and tell him.
could be, but it's almost like he's connecting with them because it's like a first and last name and it's accurate.
See, that totally is bizarre to me to
Me
know the
too, because
last name in
even like some of the best mediums don't
right.
even get names like that. They
Oh,
get like an initial.
right. They don't always
Yeah,
get a full name like that. Yeah. So
first and last.
that would be interesting. I would want to see it in person, like
Me
I
too.
witness it,
Me
and
too.
oh, now I know this is real.
Real, yes. And not give up any information beforehand or have a
Right.
conversation. Just walk
Right.
with me like you do on the
Because
show.
the names, I mean, it's, that is
That's
a
hard.
full name. I mean, first name, fine, but wow, to
Well,
really,
there's so many names I haven't even heard of or aren't even in my vocabulary that this guy pulls out. And it's like, what? I've never heard that many name in my life.
know,
And he
well,
just came up with it.
I think I'd need to see that for
Me
sure.
too. I do
Yeah.
too. But another thing too is dowsing rods. Like I want to get dowsing rods because Lee has some and just in our investigations, but just to play with too. You know what I mean? Just to try them.
And they work. I mean, I'm
Mm-hmm.
wanting them, that's on my list. So
Yeah. You
the
got to
list,
get some.
that is a fun tool. Again, another tool, there's
Yeah.
so ways to connect with energy and,
Yeah.
that is fun.
There are a lot of tools. I can't think of any more right at the second though.
Well, even cards are really a tool, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely cards. Yes, tarot
Yeah.
cards, oracles, 100%.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
you can add to that, with the cards like the pendulum or the dowsing rods, or do the cards and then do your tea leaf readings, with your cup, or even do the water bowl, like you said,
right.
add extra stuff in there for tools with your, psychic work or your mediumship work or however it might be, because it is fun.
Yeah, and incorporate it.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever done the spirit art?
Yeah, I have done spirit art. Yep. Oh, and there's another thing too where you could take, I did where you take a lighter and you take this special paper. I forget, I can't think of it right now, but
Okay.
you burn the paper and it can have an animal on it. It can have a face. It can
Wow.
have, yes, and you put your energy into it and you run the lighter. Have you done that?
No, I haven't done that
It's
one.
cool. I can't think of the paper right now, but the
Yeah,
paper doesn't burn, obviously.
right.
But you hold it. It was just like a little small, 5x5 paper or whatever it was. And it's so cool because the one was like a deer. And then my second one was actually like a man's face in the burn marks on the paper. And it's
Uh,
super cool. I forget what it's called though. Man, I suck. I can't think of it, but I have done spirit art.
yeah, I like the spirit art, except, I really didn't think I would be able to draw. And I was
Right,
able, I mean, you definitely are having help because I can't draw.
right.
And it did look like this woman's spirit person. And, it's amazing. Like I'm just, the amount, well, you definitely have to trust when you're doing
Right.
because you're really unless you're a great artist
Mhm.
but I think that's fun too. I mean, I'm glad I tried it.
Mhm.
I don't know, I probably would try it again. Do you have a favorite like tool that you've worked with that you like?
Um, Not really. I think I use my pendulum every now and then, mostly for Reiki though. Um, but I mean, I use my cards, but I don't really have like a lot
Right.
of like tools, because I think
Yeah.
it's more like more the mental mediumship, that type of side, But I mean, I love trying new stuff or trying to do certain
Right.
things. And then even like with spirit art, you can tap more into like the feelings or the emotions, or, it doesn't have to be the actual image of a person, right?
Right.
You could just kind of go with tapping into your higher self and what do you produce, what comes out of it. Oh yeah, and then automatic writing, there's that
Right.
too,
Um,
right?
I used to like automatic writing. I got away from it, but I think I might play with that again. Like it's fun.
You should.
Uh,
Yeah. You should
something I
do it.
do again. Make more
Yeah.
time, I would say.
Yes, I've never tried automatic writing because that's kind of like where you let spirit kind of,
Yeah, guide the pencil, and you have to hold it
yes,
the way, so it's not you doing that.
right, of course. And you let them
Right.
write and then whatever comes out, right? And I have not tried that yet, but maybe I will one day.
Liked it. It was not it was nice. It was something to try. And again, it does have whatever matter of trust that you have. Like you have to
Yes,
turn to spirit for that.
you
And
do.
I'm just gonna let spirit in and do whatever, and it's amazing. I'm gonna play with that again. I haven't done that in a while.
What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite tool or no?
Oh, I don't know. Um I have a crystal ball that I always like to do, and I haven't done that in a while either. I would say my fun one was the pendulum because you could take it with you wherever you go.
It's small.
I always had it. I always have it in my purse, or
Yeah.
like that was a fun tool to just for yes and no.
Yes.
Um, that was probably one of my favorites because it can go anywhere. You know what I mean? It's not bulky, it's small,
Yeah.
travel, you know. So that's one I have to say was always around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too. That's probably like, because I'm looking at my shelf and I'm like, pretty much I have my pendulum and that's
Hmm.
about it.
It's fun
You know?
to try different tools though and work with the different tools because it kind of gets you out of that again, doing the same thing over and over, and it gets you to open up expand your consciousness.
Definitely. It does. And just to have fun and
Mm.
like not take it so serious. You know what I mean? Just have fun with it.
Remember that it can be fun too,
Yes. It doesn't have
not
to
just
be
work.
right. Just not so cut and dry. Just
Right.
have fun, enjoy it, and just trust the process. And if it turns out great, great. If not, oh well, like no big deal, It's no
Yeah. I
stress.
oracle cards too. Like that's one of my favorite. I have the angel cards that I just love. And
Yeah.
pulling a card of a day, just to
Yes.
it just helps. Like, okay, what's my card of the day? And it gives you a message for the day. And
Right.
it's very uplifting, you
And if
know?
you don't like it, you just pull another one. You say,
Right.
that's not for me. I'm gonna
No, I don't do that. I stick with whatever one comes out.
like I don't need to hear that today.
I
Thank
know.
you. So let me shuffle and pull. Yes, I love this one.
But yeah, you just never know.
No, you sure don't. Well, let us know if you use tools in the comments or if you are listening in and some of the things we talked about today you've actually never heard of and are going to go try. So
Right.
we'd love to hear what you have to say, and we hope you all have a beautiful day and namaste. Namaste.